Hey guys, Anthony, Forby for Adventures. Just a quick video. People are asking how to clean the vehicle after a beach run and the sand and the salt and all that sort of thing. Well, I'd say it's not too much different to the mud run. You know, the tracks, the dirt, the dust, whatever the case may be, a bit of mud, bit of dirt. It's all very similar. Thoroughly is the answer. But of course I hear what you're saying, you know, with sand and salt and all that sort of thing, you want to avoid rust. Now firstly, if you live near the water and you're always in the water, you're probably going to get some rust anyway. If you're not, if you live away from the water out in the country like where we are now, you know, in regional Victoria, you're probably not going to get any rust anyway. If you went to Fraser every now and then, even if you got a bit of salt water under there and you washed it off, I don't think you're going to have too many issues because the materials are quality. But of course, you want to avoid it as much as possible. You want to avoid that salt, sand, whatever. Avoid getting the salt. What I'm saying by avoid is avoid driving in the salt water. Sand will be alright, bit of sand spray around your wheel arches. The more you avoid it, the easier it is to clean. What I want to say is, before we get to the cleaning part, is did you ever notice, you know, when you drive through the puddle, you know, when it's fun going fast through the puddle and the water goes out both sides, out each side? Well, did you know that on the other side of the tyre, on the inside edge, it goes up under your car and sprays the whole underbody of the vehicle, and it can hit places at pressure that can cause leaks, oil leaks and stuff like that, okay? So there's your first problem, and of course you're just spraying the whole underbody with salt water by doing so. Now sand's a different matter. The sand's generally just going to spray around your wheel arches. It's not as full of salt as the water itself. Okay, so cleaning. This is what I like to do. Look, I used to worry about these things too, so firstly, don't worry about it. You know, living in Victoria, we don't have beaches we can go on. Yes, we sort of appreciate it a bit more because we just need to go on more holidays, and obviously it's a holiday thing. It's a bit like, yeah, if you live in Queensland, maybe you just get used to the weather, so you don't, well, getting used to it at the moment if it's still raining. It's been raining all year, hasn't it? But anyway, certainly not beautiful one day, perfect the next at the moment. That's all a lie. But anyway, the point is, if the weather was perfect and beautiful and sunny all day, every day, then you wouldn't know, you know, you wouldn't know when it was good. So you got to have, look, see, we've got some dark clouds. There's some dark clouds right there. Look at those. And a bit of blue skies. Lovely day today. It's only 15 degrees at the moment, but it's awesome. It's a good work day. You get a lot done when it's only 15. You can move around quick, work hard, and you're not going to sweat it out. And that's the problem up north. You know, you can't get any work done. As soon as you move, you break out in a sweat and everything's slippery and sticky. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, what was I trying to say? What was this video about again? Wasn't fuel additives, was it? Yeah, no, cleaning the sand out. Right, so if you rarely do it, this is what I like to do. If I go to Fraser, when I go to Fraser, or when I go to Robe, at the end of each day, where possible, I'll rinse it out. So usually there's a hose somewhere. So on Fraser, you know, at the back of your wrong, you've got the hose there. When we go to Robe, there's a car wash, but we've got a friend's house there, so he's got a hose. So at the end of each day, just park it on the front grass and water the grass, right? So I'm going to have avoided the salt, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm giving the whole vehicle a rinse off top to bottom, because it's salt spray on the paintwork, the windows and everything. You know, it leaves that residue as well. So I'm giving the whole thing a rinse off each day. And underneath, it's mainly around all the wheel arches and that, because I haven't driven in salt water. I'm not too worried about it. But if for some reason, there's a very big if there, because I'm not going to be driving in salt water. But if I had to drive through an inch of salt water, I'm going to be driving really slow, like walking pace, fast enough to not get bulk. Let's say for some reason we reckon there's salt water running out of Eli Creek, or I don't know. It's just generally not. Look, there can be some little pools from the high tide up the beach where the water's running out. So I just crawl through it really slowly, right? You know, I mean, you're down from where the pool is. You don't go through that bath. The water might be running down the beach. You know, you don't know, some of them are mostly fresh, but some could be salt type thing. So go slow, so it's only around your wheel arches. So basically, what's the word? Liberally. Be liberal with the fresh water around the wheel arches, around the brakes. If you want, you have a quick bend over at the front of the vehicle and you point towards the inside, the discs, the calipers, the shock absorbers, the springs, the steering knuckle, all this kind of area there. and then just quick rinse across the bash plate, and then same thing at the other side at the front. You can do the same at the rear underneath. Spray the rear fuel tank, your diff, your wheels. Generally, you're not going to get anything up the middle there unless you're one of those people that's high speed through puddles and all that sort of thing, whatever. So, but it's up to you. So, really, rinsing with fresh water as soon as possible is the best option to get it off. I'm not really talking about trip preparation in this one or what else you would do. It was particular to cleaning. What I'll say is using a pressure washer isn't ideal for rinsing out, whether it's mud, dirt, dust, or salt water or sand. You need, unfortunately, it's a waste of water. We've got water tanks and that on our properties, so you know, we can waste the water because it came out of the sky for free, right? And we've got solar, so it runs the pump as well. Happy days, right? So we are environmentally friendly, and we're only going to waste as much water as we can afford to waste. But you need to be liberal with the fresh water, not from the pressure washer, because A, there's not enough water and there's too much pressure, and because of the long handle of the pressure washer, you can't get it in the places you need to. So what you actually need to do, some people talk about sticking the hose in the chassis and letting it fill up and letting it go for, and people put sprinklers under. Look, unfortunately, that's the lazy way. You need to be able to get physical with it. You went out and had the fun. Now you need to spend an hour or two cleaning the car. So we're going to fast forward now to the end of a trip, whether it's the end of 3 days or a week or whatever. We want to give it a proper cleanup. So what we're going to do is, first thing we're going to do is the big rinse. That's using the garden hose with a trigger sprayer type thing. You know what I mean? Here we go. We've got a problem. This one's going real slow. We've got the right lane guy. Here we go. Now we'll get it back up to speed, and I'll be able to get back on the channel. What was I talking about? Was that a video about what? No, that's it. Cleaning it out, right? So, you know, the trigger sprayer, and I'll have it on. I'll do a mix. I'll go around with it on full. I'll go around with it on shower. Whatever's got the most water coming out of it, and literally, you're not just squirting across under the vehicle. You've got to get down on your hands and knees, and you've got to put your arm in, and you've got to point upwards, and you've got to know, have a look, watch our inspection videos so you know what's under the vehicle, so you know what you're rinsing out. I get water up on top of the fuel tank, so it rinses all the dirt, sand, everything from the top to bottom, right? All around all the diffs, around all the brakes, I'm rinsing everything. I'll put water up there until it starts running out clean out of anywhere. I'm looking in the chassis, anything in there, I'm sticking it on full, sticking it into all those little triangle and round holes and everything till I see clear. Look where it's running out of the chassis. Make sure it's running clear, make sure you've sprayed it both ways. If you do all this, you're not going to have a problem, okay? So that's what you do. Now, then of course you wash the vehicle with a proper warm soapy water, not too strong, not too weak, just right, and then give it another good rinse, right? You can use your pressure washer for that if you like, to save a bit of water. And if you've got any dirty stain type areas on the vehicle, that's where you use your degreaser or your truck wash or whatever you want. You can hit it a bit more with a pressure washer, but right, the idea was to talk about the sand part. The best, most important part is avoiding it. A quick rinse at the end of each day, a few minutes worth of water, and at the end of that trip, as soon as I go off Fraser, bang, wherever, you know, wherever the next place, wherever we're staying, there's a hose, is there a hose, bang, I'm on that hose and I'm rinsing it off. First car wash we drive past. I'm not happy with the car wash doesn't give me the rinse I need, okay? If I drive off Fraser and I get to that roundabout there on the corner, you know, and there's a car wash in the corner there, it just, you know, in Fraser Centre, bloody, you know, what do you call it? I don't know, yeah. It's Harvey Bay Central, we'll call it, right there on the roundabout. There's a car wash, right? Rip-off joint, whatever. I'll go in there and I'll spend $3, used to be $1, but now it's $3, and go around the vehicle, right, $1 at a time, so then you got time to sort out any issues. You don't waste your money, right? Because sometimes you get a sore arm, or you might want to get a cloth out and give those bugs on the windscreen a scrub, or whatever the case may be. So here's some value for money ideas on how to do it as well. But, you know, give it the $3, but it isn't going to get underneath and do that rinse we're talking about. You need a garden hose for that. So I know it's the long version of how to clean the sand out, but it's all very important information. So I hope all those people that asked about it got their answer, and I hope they smash the like button, subscribe, turn the bell on, catch you on the next one. That's a video. That's how to clean the sand out. That's what I do. I'll give you a little bonus, right? Another 30 seconds, right? So I used to worry about it and spray CRC, WD-40, fish oil, lanolin, whatever you want, this, that and the other, on before, and then I'd wash it and after. You can do that if you like, right? If you think you're going to get salt water on your chassis and underneath, then you go ahead and do that. Start off with it clean. Any rusty areas, give them a touch-up paint, fiddly bits from Bunnings, you know, a bit of black paint, little touch-up, make it look good for you. right? Do that. When all that's dry, you can spray on whatever prevention oily stuff you like, because it's more or less, you know, I mean, if you want to make the car smell, just get a can of fish oil, Inox brand quality stuff, you know what I mean? Or you can just spray some normal Inox. What is it, MX? I don't remember the numbers. What is it, MX for? The normal, just multi-purpose stuff, you know, that'll just give it a coating that will help. And then when you finish your trip, you're giving it the wash and all that stuff's coming off, so it doesn't stink anymore. So there's a way to do it if you love your vehicle and you've got the time. Just beware, do it at the end of the day with your dirty clothes on, and as soon as you've sprayed it, you're going to go in, put your clothes in the machine and have a shower, otherwise you're going to stink like a fish and everybody's not going to like it. Sorry it took a minute, not 30 seconds. You probably noticed I can talk forever. Thanks for listening. Bada bing, catch you on the next one.